In this video, we're going to do an update on Soundhound. For those of you who have been following along, we became bullish on this back in May, and we think that there's a very good chance price is going to break out to $20, maybe even $22 to $26 in the next couple of months. But the past 2 weeks have definitely hurt. From highs to low, the stock is now down about 20%. But I want to let you know that my analysis and my thesis on this does not change just yet. Now, the reason that we were bullish in the first place is because market structure is still bullish. If we take a Fibonacci from lows to high, you're going to see that we are still making higher lows and lower highs. Higher lows and higher highs. Every single time that we pull back, we're not taking out a previous low. And in most of these cases, what will happen is price will bounce and then break out into a higher high. From here, we also are seeing price action pulled into our institutional buy zone and tapped our smart money zone. This is a very important level because it means that price is at a massive discount within bullish structure. And this is normally where institutions are going to enter the market and let the stock push its way back up to recent highs or all-time highs. A couple of the trades that we've been setting up with this recently has been AMD. Pulled right into our smart money zone, has bounced about 90% since. Another great one was NVIDIA, pulled right back into our smart money zone, bounced nearly 100%. MU pulled back into the smart money zone, bounced 81%. Robinhood pulled back into the smart money zone, bounced 200%. Roblox pulled back into the smart money zone, bounced 167%. Now, of course, this will fail from time to time. Another trade that I took this week was NVO, which I'm down significantly on. So these institutional and smart money zones do not have to hold, but the reason that they're so important and the reason that we trade them is because of the risk versus reward, meaning the potential upside for the potential downside is outsized, and that is what's most important. Real quick, if you want to learn how to find these setups on your own and get access to the same exact indicators that I use, we built a free training system just for that. The link is down in the description, and over 20,000 other traders are currently using it every single day. My win rate over the past 3 years is only 58%. And so the idea that you have to be winning each and every single trade in order to make money is a total lie. It all comes down to your risk versus reward. For instance, if we just isolate our Webull fund, which we started following the daily a couple of weeks ago with this, you're going to notice that we are up about $30,000 on a $200,000 account with a win rate of only 36%. Now, the reason that we're so profitable with this strategy is because our win-loss ratio is astronomical. And so that brings us to where we are with Soundhound. From where we ended up getting our entry criteria back here on April 21st, we're only up about 9.5% from that point till right now. And on my shares, because I didn't get in at that exact point, I'm actually down. But I'm not worried because at the end of the day, as long as this indicator down here, which is called the BX trender that shows buy-sell pressure, as long as this remains green and does not flip dark red, then I think there's a chance that this expansion will continue. In my opinion, I think we're pulling back into a discounted range before earnings, and I do think that institutions will most likely step in to save this. If we look at this daily chart, each and every single time we pull back into this smart money zone, we go for a significant rally. Back here between June 18th to July 10th, we had a 44% move to the upside. Pulling back into the institutional buy and smart money zone now, I think once again, we're going to have about a 45% move over the next month to the upside. So I'm really not worried at all. Now, some of you might be asking, if these pullbacks, then why would we not try to time this and go to sell up here and then buy back down here and then sell again here and try to buy back? And the truth is you could do that, right? Within our Discord, I run 2 main funds. The first fund goes off of the weekly chart, buys and holds until requirements are met. The other fund follows the daily, which is exactly what's been happening here. It looks to enter when the BX trender makes higher lows inside of a smart money zone and then looks to close out of its position while the BX trender holds dark red. But the main reason that I don't try to time the market to perfection is that everything is in hindsight. It's very easy to look at a chart like this and say, dude, we should have bought here. And at the end of the day, what I do not want to miss, like I'm okay losing some capital in the short term, but I don't want to miss this parabolic move up to 20 or $21. Imagine if we tried to do that with AMD or Hood or Coinbase, any setups. If we would have tried to do that, then we would have missed these mega rallies, which is what actually gives us our edge. So I hope this video helped. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.